Welcome back, everyone. Let's check this out. I have not watched this bout yet, but I do know who wins. Spoiler alert, it's Alexander Choupenitch. Normally, I don't like to spoiler, but this time I do because it's Alexander Choupenitch's first World Cup win. And that's just really awesome. So, just right from the get go, huge congratulations, Alexander. You deserve it. You deserve it. He has been at the top of fencing for a very long time. He's fenced all over the world, obviously in tournaments, but also in training camps. He's had multiple coaches. He's just one of those fencers who really knows fencing and is just everywhere and has really dedicated so much of his life to this sport. So it's really great to see him getting some gold too. Well done. Well done. Okay, let's check it out now. Gergo Szemes, up and coming, very young fencer. So honestly, congratulations to him as well. I mean, he has also never won a World Cup, but he's gotten close. He medaled in European Championships this year, and this is the first World Cup of the year, and yeah, he gets second place here. Um, and he's really, I mean, I feel like he's one of those fencers who's kind of changing the game a little bit. It's always the case with young fencers that they bring something new. And so I'm really excited to see what he's got. I've not been watching that much fencing lately, so this is I'm really pumped to see what's going on. Okay, marching attack from Szemes, or preparation attack, attack preparation, and infighting. It looks like the referee is going to say simultaneous because they both missed a bunch and then they both hit. So it's basically impossible to keep that action apart. A little bit of wrestling for the middle. Choupenitch goes into the attack preparation by Choupenitch. Szemes is kind of baiting him a little bit with these little half steps. And Choupenitch tries to finish. Szemes gets the parry going back, and then he just starts his own attack preparation. Szemes kind of reaches out, gets a little parry, but it's not really enough because or sorry, Choupenitch reaches out, tries to get the parry, but Szemes gets the beat. So parry versus beat, beat wins. Szemes manages to finish the attack and get the touch. 2-0 for Szemes. Szemes in the attack preparation again, and again he finishes, somewhat direct with a long lunge. Looked like he put in a little disengage or a coupe in there, got around one of Choupenitch's searches and hit the arm. Great attack off the line by Choupenitch with a flick to the chest. So basically starts on the outside, he brings the coupe up around the tip and flicks to the chest. That always works well, righties versus lefties. Or yeah, it's one of the most common ways to try to score, at least. If it works well or not kind of depends on your opponent. Okay, so here we had basically a compound attack from Szemes, and Choupenitch stepped in with a parry, and that kind of tangled Szemes all up, and then Choupenitch was able to get the repost in the infighting. So step in with parry is very strong against compound attacks, just like counter attack is very strong against compound attacks. Here, Choupenitch was doing his attack preparation, and Szemes did step in with parry, hit, but that's on the level of the tactic. On the level of the technique, it was a beat. So he reached very far forward and hit with the weak of his blade against Choupenitch's blade and then got him. But it was defensive. So that's why I call it a parry with step forward or parry going forward. That's ultimately what's going on. And he's interrupting Choupenitch's preparation slash compound attack with that action. Okay, Choupenitch again in the attack preparation. Let's see what Szemes does. Let's see if he's going to try to interrupt him again. He does try to interrupt him again, but this time Choupenitch was ready and basically avoided the blade and then tried to finish. Uh, and after a bit of back and forth, Szemes was in the attack preparation. Choupenitch managed to get him to hesitate a lot and then do a stop hit or arrêt. That's when you hit and go back. So that's the category of counterattack with stepping back. Here we go. Nice compound attack by Choupenitch. Gets parried by Szemes on the way back. Szemes is now in the attack preparation. And Choupenitch again gets the stop hit slash counter attack going backwards. Okay, counterattack going backwards. That's the thing that's really important. Their counterattack going backwards, it's good to do against slow attacks, which are very, very, very extremely, extremely slow at the slowest possible point of the attack. It's good to do a stop hit, and also when the attack is very, very fast, where they're not able to accelerate anymore. Anywhere between there are generally dangerous for the stop hit. And so he got it there when Szemes was coming forward very, very, very slowly. So Choupenitch basically, he's got a tool right now to defeat Szemes's very, very slow preparation, and that is counterattack going backwards. Now we've got the very slow attack by Choupenitch. I mean, he's even stopping in some moments there, but Szemes is not taking the chance, which is really quite risky. This time, Szemes does not push as long. So as soon as he gets close enough, he launches a long, pretty simple lunge. But again, he got Choupenitch on the shoulder. He seems to keep trying on the arm, but in the shoulder area. So he keeps trying to maybe flick Choupenitch on top of the shoulder, or maybe he's trying to get him on the inside. But Choupenitch is managing basically to parry the blade enough so that it ends up hitting his arm, or he's getting kind of his arm sort of in the way there, which is of course perfectly legal. That's his weapon arm. It's all part of the game. Choupenitch is tying his shoes, and so Choupenitch also on that time he also didn't go back as much. I think he kind of knows that he's got a pretty strong card with his stop hit. So his attack, his counterattack and going back, his counterattack going backwards. Arrêt, stop hit, and so he's kind of provoking that. He's kind of forcing that early instead of sort of setting it up. As soon as Szemes is coming forward, he's provoking it. See, he's not going back nearly. He's not giving ground nearly as much, and he showed it a few too many times there. And this time, when he tried to parry because he really was super close, Szemes did a cutover, avoided his blade successfully, and flicked him on the top of the shoulder. So a good play, Szemes. Choupenitch, I think he's got to try to hide that stop hit a little bit more with preparation. Excellent compound attack by Choupenitch. And Szemes tried doing a counterattack with step forward, which is generally the first solution to a compound attack. But Choupenitch managed with a little bit of a sort of a preem position with his hand, which he just kind of did again, this time after a parry. So parry, counter time with parry. But basically with that preem position, you're able to finish your attack even in the very, very, very close distance. So they both, basically Choupenitch made a very good technical decision, and Szemes made the correct tactical decision. But in that case, the technical decision won out, which was to position his hand in a way that he could hit even in a very, very close distance. Looks like the referee went to the video to decide this touch. It was, I'm not really sure anymore what happened there. They both kind of went to the blade. They both hit. I think Szemes was a little bit more in the attack, but it kind of depends if Choupenitch managed to. That's right. So Choupenitch got the parry. So basically, the referee said 2 beats. So 2 blade contacts. So there was a beat from Szemes followed by a parry by Choupenitch. So well done getting that parry post, Choupenitch. So now Choupenitch has successfully gotten counterattacks on the way back, has successfully gotten parry repost. It's a very dangerous combination if you manage to get both of those things consistently, obviously. Szemes getting close, though, on those beautiful long lunge attacks. Well done. He reached in there and got that parry and managed to start his own slow attack. This time he managed to get a counter time with finish. So Szemes is pushing, slow, basically attack preparation. Choupenitch does a counter attack into that attack preparation, and Szemes then finishes, basically in reaction to that counter attack or in reaction to the distance. It's impossible to tell the difference. Doesn't really matter. The point is Choupenitch definitely started to try to hit before Szemes went. But since he was in the forward motion the whole time, his finish definitely counts as valid. And so that was a very nice counter time with finish for Szemes. This time Choupenitch managed to get the parry repost, kind of moving back again using his height. And now he just got the attack. So basically they both went off the line towards each other, but Choupenitch got the attack. Bit of back and forth there. Choupenitch is very aware that if he is able to sort of get the touch at a maximum distance, it's very advantageous to him. Whether or not he does a parry or counterattack, both are working as long as he's basically trying to hit with a very long distance. And Szemes just chose a different target that time. It looked like instead of going to the shoulder like he kept doing, he went around Choupenich's six and basically hit him in the flank. And Choupenitch tried to parry in two, but he was too late. 2 or 8. Excellent infighting, honestly, from both of them. But Szemes got that remise in just too fast. And maybe he even managed to slip Choupenich's point because Choupenitch really got his own point in there very, very, very quickly. But Szemes was doing this kind of like seal motion. And it's possible that he managed to get Choupenich's point to just slide off of him. Yeah, that looked like Choupenich's final parry to me as well. But Szemes' initial reaction was of not being happy with it. Ah, or did the, what? Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. What just happened? Ah, I see. Indeed, not 9-6. Okay, it looks like they forgot to deal with some scores beforehand. Oh, 6-8. I see. And then that's right. And then he gets the final parry post. And now it's 9-6. Okay, that makes sense. There's just a little bit of a score snafu by the scorekeeper. So they both went for the blade, but Choupenich was stronger on the blade and managed to get the attack, and Szemes also felt that. Szemes is kind of playing the same game as Choupenich, trying to hit sort of from a maximum distance, but it's not really working out for him. I think Szemes should try to increase the speed of the bout. Basically try to introduce more of everything. More direction changes, try to close the distance faster. Just try to increase the speed of the bout. Try to make it more difficult for Choupenich to control the distance. But I think that Choupenich will have difficulty um, to basically get in very close if Szemes or successfully. He basically won't be able to do it successfully if Szemes is moving very fast. He needs to, of course, it needs to still be controlled. But the point is that Choupenich is basically managing to outdistance him. And that's kind of happening because everything is going very slowly. But Szemes also can't be too predictable. So that's one thing that happens with speed is that you can become more predictable. So you have to mitigate for that by using basically direction changes and tempo changes. Yeah. Okay, he got some kind of twisted his ankle or something. I don't know what. Or got a minor cramp or he got some pain in his leg, it looks like. Okay. Ready again? Okay, little attack by the right. Okay, see, slow attack. This is good for Choupenich. He's doing it right. Szemes needs to be interrupting more. Okay, now here he needs to be making more tempo changes and really like getting in there, getting in close and dirty, basically rush in there maybe with a blade take. Nice, excellent. He managed to get the counter time with the finish. So maybe that's his plan. So basically, Choupenich is forced to lure him, is forced to jump in and out of the distance constantly, and eventually Choupenich feels close enough that he can take the blade, even though he's on defense. And then in that moment, Szemes is pulling the blade back and finishing. So that's quite a simple strategy. It definitely can work very well. Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. So this time he managed to just close the distance. He kind of had the same setup, but he trusted himself to go from further away with an advanced lunge, and he managed to get his blade in there. and hit. So Choupenitch kind of needs to stop searching for the blade, or he needs to search on purpose to get Szemes to go, and then step in or step out. Basically launch his plan at that point. Excellent. That time he managed to do a little getaway, and now he's going this little slow attack. Let's see. Szemes doesn't seem to be trying to really score here at this moment. He seems more like he's trying to get the getaway go. But in this moment, Choupenitch accelerated with his compound attack, and Szemes used that moment to try and get a counterattack, which looked like was going to work. I mean, it's a pretty good counterattack. He definitely chose the right moment. But Choupenitch is also kind of trying to do the same thing. He's trying to provoke the counter. He's trying to do the counter time with finish. So he's trying to jump in, provoke the counterattack, and then finish. And that's worked for him once or twice. So they're both following a similar pattern. Choupenitch he's trying to provoke the defensive option of Szemes, so either parry, riposte, or counterattack, and then finish. And Szemes is honestly doing exactly the same thing. The only difference is in the reality of what's happening. So in Choupenitch's case, Szemes is trying to do counterattack, and Choupenitch is then finishing. And in Szemes' case, Choupenitch is trying to parry, and that's when Szemes is finishing. So they're both playing the counter time game. So second intention is defensive second intention is very good against counter time. Excellent, excellent. This time he just went for it. So this time he just did a compound attack. And finished with a low flick to Szemes' 7, so his belly. Really beautiful touch. I mean, really impressive. Athletically, and just like getting the angle there to get, because Szemes parried, he parried correctly. He parried called a 5 in foil, which is basically just a very low 4. Is the right parry that protects your 7 as well, but Choupenitch managed to get the tip in even around that. And now he got another compound attack. So Szemes really only has 2 options now, or 3 options, I guess. He can attack the middle, so he can try to win the middle. So that basically he either gets the touch or he forces Choupenitch into the defense. He can do a counterattack forward to try to defeat Choupenitch's compound attack, or he can do a parry forward to try to defeat Choupenitch's compound attack. Those are the 3 main options. Anything can work against anything else. That's something that's important to remember. But it's good to know what are the main options so that you can either just do them or so that you can deviate from them in a smart way. So he's threatening to go forward with the parry. He basically kept baiting, and then he tried to get the parry riposte on the way back, which I think is dangerous. I think it's not the best option against compound attack, but it can work. That time he did parry step forward. That I think was a much smarter option. Choupenitch still managed to get the off target, but Szemes had Choupenitch not gotten that light on, Szemes would have been in a very good position to get a riposte. This time he tried to win the middle. That was one of the good options to defeat your opponent's combat attacks, but his blade didn't go off. He missed. Choupenitch managed to get the 1 light touch. Okay, so Szemes basically did a getaway go. So he baited, he tried to get the parry on the way back. He managed, because he's got very good feet, very fast feet, he managed to kind of bait Choupenitch into finishing his attack while still maintaining his own balance, and then he restarted his own attack and hit off target. Excellent, incredible compound attack by Choupenitch. Szemes runs back trying to parry. That doesn't work because that's pretty much the worst option that you can do against the compound attack. He does ultimately manage to get the parry where he's in a position of, honestly, pretty good balance in comparison to like where most people would be in that case, but not the most balanced possible. And Choupenitch managed to get the remise. Okay, and compound attack followed by remise is a very good combination, especially if your opponent is running back with parries. And again, Choupenitch basically is doing this compound attack from the middle. This time he manages even to parry Szemes' touch with his arm, but his point just doesn't go off / he misses, and Szemes gets the remise. But honestly, a very amazing, a really good choice by Choupenitch, and it almost worked. It was so close and so clean. It would have been such a clean 1 light. He had the right of way. He parried with his forearm. Everything great. And now he's getting a yellow card. I don't know why. But Szemes, very good reaction, quickly got the remise. So Szemes is really not finding a way to defeat a Choupenitch's compound attack. Choupenitch's compound attack is just what is making the difference here. That to me looked like Szemes missed, and then Choupenitch got the counterattack. The question is, did Choupenitch also miss, basically at the same time as Szemes or right after Szemes? If he missed before Szemes, it shouldn't matter. It should still be his. But if he missed at the same time that Szemes missed or right after Szemes missed, then it will be Szemes's. So that's what the referee is saying, I hope, unless he disagrees with my understanding. And very nice parry by Choupenitch. Slow push, compound attack, and then straight finish, direct finish. Amazing, amazing. So that end there, it was with a full-on lunge. Okay, so that full-on lunge, great sportsmanship, bows to his coach. Beautiful.